Good morning everyone, today is a walkthrough video for Falz Dalion because I know that this boss is incredibly difficult, especially for a lot of people just going in blind. It is incredibly punishing and a lot of people may assume that you need incredible gear in order to clear it. However, it's more about mechanics and abusing them in order to clear them a little bit more efficiently. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to go over are going to be some freebies. So when we come to our systems over here, get campaign items, receive item account, you have a ton of apology stuff, compensation, as well as you may have noticed only 7 days until Alpha Super Origin Festival, as well as only 6 days. And then, tomorrow we're going to get 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, so forth and so on. And this is music CDs. So when you click on this, you're going to see Future Emblem, and you're like, what the heck is that? And when you click on the 6 days one, you're going to see Waga Teshi Wagura, whatever. The thing that Hanzo says in order to summon the dragon. It's not really that, I'm making that up. But nevertheless, there's some really random Japanese gibberish over here and you're just like, what on earth are these items? These are all music CDs. So you can simply just pick them up and you can register them onto your Mag device and listen to them. They're actually really freaking good, by the way. But on top of that, there are of course some end color change passes as compensation. We also get some salon free passes as compensation, and we get 20 star gems for the unscheduled emergency maintenance. It's better than nothing, so you might as well pick it up. So as you can see over here, this is Future Emblem and this is the Watashi whatever. So in order to apply them, you simply open up your Mag device over here, you go to music settings, you go to add, and you can add them as your music, so you can listen to them whenever you want. Now with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is of course Planet Crusher Blitz or Falz Dalion. As we can see over here in the loot table, the Wingguard series are available over here. These are the new 11-star rarity weapons. However, you can also get the new 11-star rarity weapons by farming Lucille Exploration. Even though they don't show it in the featured item drops, it does drop on the global server and the JP server. As we can see over here, there's our screenshots of people getting them. So it does actually drop in Lucille Exploration. Now, obviously the drop rate in Lucille Exploration is probably going to be a lot lower than Falz Dalion. So, if you want to just spam something over and over and have the highest chance of receiving the Wingguard weapons, you probably want to spam Falz Dalion if you can do it. However, if all you care about is the Wingguard series and you can't complete Falz Dalion or you can't do it consistently, it's perfectly fine to just go to Lucille Exploration and spam the living daylights out of this instead. Because Falz Dalion does have very specific gear requirements in specific phases. So we can break the Falz Dalion fight into two major sections. The first section is where you're using your actual gear. So you're using your weapon, you're beating up the boss, whether you're using a katana, a sword, a rod, whatever. And then the second part of the fight is when you have to use the cannon. The game forces you to use one of those cannons and you're not able to drop the cannon and use your regular weapon. So because of that, you do kind of need specific gear in order to maximize damage for the cannon. The reason for this is because floor potency is incredibly important for the cannon in order to deal consistent damage. So let's say that you have gone the full glass cannon build and you have like 210% potency, but you have like, 50% floor potency. When you pick up that cannon and you start shooting enemies, you're gonna see there is a huge variance in damage numbers because you don't have 100% floor potency or you don't have high floor potency, so your damage is all over the place. And because of that, you are subject to a lot of RNG, and a lot of the time you may have noticed that you're not able to clear Falz Dalion because you just don't deal enough damage. So what a lot of people have been doing is they craft a second weapon. They've been using a Zover weapon with a ton of floor potency capsules in that weapon. So when you get to that cannon phase, you switch over to that weapon. However, I know a lot of people are like, Carol, I don't have the money to invest. I don't want to make another weapon, blah, blah, blah. If you're in that boat, just don't even bother with Falz Dalion. I'm going to be real with you. Falz Dalion is for the end game players. That's its intended audience. If you're struggling through it and you're not having fun, that's the key thing. You're not having fun. Then just go to Lucille Exploration, farm there over and over, and you have a chance of getting the 11-star weapon, all right? I don't know if that was intended or not, but nevertheless, it's available there. So for the majority of players, just farm that. However, if you do enjoy, and you're masochist like me, I guess, and you like smashing your head against the wall and trying to find efficient ways in order to fight Falz Dalion in order to clear it faster, so forth and so on, then yes, you are going to need to modify your gear a little bit. Like, I had to re-augment several of my gear pieces because I needed more floor potency. And so, you know, Grand Dread Keeper is going to be a very, very powerful augment. Now, of course, you can keep all of your augments on your armors already if you don't want to re-augment your armor, and just get a Zover weapon, get it all the way to enhancement 80, fully limit break it, and then just throw in a bunch of floor potency capsules onto that, and that will work as well. But nevertheless, for the second phase with the cannons, you do need floor potency. You cannot just go in there with your regular weapon as well as your regular gear that is just pure potency and no floor potency, because, you know, you're just gonna crit all day every day and just pray that you just deal consistent damage, because you're not going to deal consistent damage and you're really going to struggle. But with all of that out of the way, now we can actually jump into the footage, and I'll walk you through the Falz Dalion run. So as we are starting here, I do want to thank Katia, Emiko, as well as Moon, because these guys helped me quite a bit. But at the very beginning, you're going to notice that there are two enemies. There's one on the left side and one on the right side. It's very important that you need to look at your minimap, and by default, the minimap doesn't rotate when you move around. You need to make sure that it is a locked minimap, because you are going to be using the minimap a lot, especially if you're colorblind like myself. If you're not colorblind, what you can do is you can look at the little rings on top of the enemy to identify what element they are. So this one is the light element, and later when we look on the far one on the right side, it's got a fire, or it's got a red ring around it because it is the fire element. Personally, I don't like identifying these through elements because I'm colorblind, so I can't really see the difference. So what I do to counteract this is I simply look at the minimap and I remember, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to the top left corner, bottom left corner, top right corner, or bottom right corner. And that's how I identify where I need to go. But basically what you wanna do over here is you wanna make sure that you have your ranger over here, you blight round one of it, and 3 people stick on one side, so you kill it incredibly quickly, and then everyone hover over here and you blight round this and you destroy this one together. All right, so that's how I like to do things. I like to do 3-1. However, if you do have consistent damage and you're able to kill both of them at the same time, then you can split with 2-2. But personally, 3-1 works best for me, because even if you have lower DPS, you know, it's just easier that way. You don't need to balance out your damage, and you take full advantage of the blight round as well. You know, you just deal a little bit more damage. So you're gonna see over here, once we kill this one, you're gonna get a little notification. It's gonna happen right now. The fragment has left the field. So once that's gone, you can see this one's gonna disappear. Everyone starts moving over to the other side to help the solo player. As we can see, Emiko over here is the solo player, so we're coming here to help them. And again, we just apply the blight round, and we're gonna kill this incredibly quickly and move on to the next phase. So right after we finish that phase, you're gonna notice that they're gonna be summoning these red circles. This is where a lot of people die. So what you need to pay attention to, or at least my rule of thumb, is I like to run near the center of the map and I quickly scan around to see where there is no red circles. So as we can see over here, all of this has red circles, so I'm like, okay, this is all very dangerous. So where's the next safe spot? Okay, there's a safe spot right here, because you can see there is no circle close by. This one's super far away. There's a bunch of them here, but they're not going to expand all the way to like this platform over here. So I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to be perfectly safe. As you can see right here, we're chilling. We wait for the explosion. Immediately right after that, I start scanning again. I start looking for the circles. So as we can see over here, there's no circle around here. So this area right here is probably going to be safe. So we can see right here, and voila, there is no circles right here. And keep in mind, there's always going to be 2 safe zones, and they're always going to be on opposite ends of each other. So regardless of where you are, as long as you're near the middle, there's always going to be a safe zone within reaching distance. All you need to do is stay calm and look around and identify where the safe zone is and immediately commit to it. All right, don't waste your time running around like a headless chicken, or else you're just going to panic and you're going to die. It's very important at this phase to stay calm, because this circle, if you get hit, the chances are pretty high that you will die unless you have a very tanky build. So we're going to wait for this explosion, boom, and now we are going to the next phase where he's going to summon 4 pillars. So we're going to wait over here. You can see he's going to summon these pools. The safe zone is always in the middle over here, and you're going to notice on the mini map there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 clones of the enemy, or the 4 fragments. This part is where it kind of gear checks you over here, as each person has to take one side. Please do not stack up on a single one. I know you might kill it faster. However, the other 3 are going to throw projectiles at you, and it's going to be a living hell. Now, there are ways to cheese this if you are like a ranger or if you're a ranged character. Technically, you can stand at a corner and you can double jump really high into the air, and then the other 3 won't throw stuff at you and you'll be able to just focus one down. However, you know, we're just doing the normal mechanics over here, no cheesing. It's basically everyone takes one, and you need to stay close to the boss, because the moment you get too far from the boss, it's going to throw a projectile on the opposite side. All right, what you may have noticed when you're doing this by yourself or you're doing this in a pug is, you know, you're minding your own business, you're fighting your boss, and suddenly a giant chi bomb comes out of nowhere and smacks you in the back. And that is because someone on the other end wasn't close enough to the boss, and that's what happens. So we're going to wait for this explosion to go off, and immediately you can see that I'm going to the top left corner. However, what I didn't know was Cat was also going to the top left corner, so I need to quickly move to the bottom left corner, or else Emiko over here is going to get bombarded with a bunch of chi bombs. So you can see over here that I start moving towards the bottom corner, and here we go. Now you can see that he was shooting constantly all of these chi bombs at Emiko over here because they shoot to the opposite ends. So now that I've taken aggro, he's not going to do that anymore, and he's going to focus on me, and that way Emiko's life is going to be a lot easier. Now, the boss rotation over here is relatively simple. He's just going to do a lot of spinning, a lot of smashing, a lot of random stuff. But as you can see over here, this one is, I'm colorblind, this purple, or I don't know what color this is. This kind of looks like purple to me, but nevertheless, this is the bottom left element. All right, so some people go by elements and they're like, oh, this one's like the lightning element, that one's the ice element, this one's the fire element. I think this one is dark or something. I don't remember what element is what, but I just remember all of these enemies through their location, and I look through the mini map to identify where they are. So for me, I am in charge of the bottom left one. So as we can see, he is doing some crazy charge up attack. This charge up attack is very dangerous. You want to get out of this orange zone because you will take damage, well, a lot of damage if you get hit by it. It is possible to counter it or iframe through it. However, the timing is very, very tight. So you kind of just want to get out of it. Now you're going to notice that these bosses or these fragments fly away. When that happens, that means Falz Dalion, as we can see on the minimap, he's on the far left side, is going to come in and he's going to do a giant AoE attack. So you just want to get out of this AoE. This hurts a lot. Do not get hit by this. It is technically possible to survive this if you are tanky enough and if you have like the Waker subclass. However, you know, just don't take unnecessary damage. And boom, he's going to do that. He's going to move to another side, and immediately we just move over here. So as you can see, I am already moving to the bottom left corner because this is the one that I'm in charge of. So what you can do is, again, just look at the minimap, and that's what I do to identify, oh, which is the one that I'm in charge of. So, you know, immediately I can get a little bit of cheeky damage in without getting hit or any retaliation. And we are just going to continue this over and over and over. Now, after we do a bunch of DPS, again, he's going to run away. The fragments are going to run away, and the same phase is going to happen. Now, in order to know if you guys are doing good DPS or not, is basically you want to clear this phase or kill all 4 of these in under about 9 minutes. That is kind of your goal. You want to aim at 9 minutes, and that is a very comfortable time. So this is where it kind of DPS checks you through your gear. You need to make sure that you have the good augments, you have the good gear in order to kill all of these guys really quickly. And there's no real shortcut around this. You just have to deal enough damage to kill them. And here we are. We're just going to fast forward a little bit until we're almost killing them. You can see we've got 2 more left. We kill this and we head over and we're done. You can see all 4 of them are dead. So we are moving on to the next phase. So unfortunately, this sometimes happens. It actually happens quite often to us, where we killed all 4, but he does the stupid thing anyway, the stupid AoE, and then he goes into the next animation. As you can see over here, we've got 9 minutes and 17 seconds when we got into this phase. If you are at 9 minutes, you're doing pretty good already. All right, that's kind of your goal. So once we're in this phase, you'll notice that we have guns. So this is where you kind of want to switch your weapon. If you have a second weapon like a Zova weapon with a lot of floor potency, or if you have new armors or whatever, floor potency is king over here. You really need to make sure that you have a lot of floor potency. You're aiming for about 70. So you want 70 floor potency because apparently there is a hidden value of 30 floor potency in the cannon itself. This is just by hearsay. I don't have any numbers to prove this. I just read Uber's post about it on Twitter, and a lot of people have been telling me that yes, there is that hidden 30% floor potency. So I'm just going to accept it as face value. And so, you know, obviously if there's 30% plus 70% floor potency, you get 100% floor potency. So your shots are always going to deal consistent damage. But nevertheless, at this phase over here, you simply want to shoot all of these little yellow thingies until you reveal the weak spot. The weak spot is going to be a yellow circle, all right? So you just keep shooting these, you break all of them until you unlock the yellow circle. As you can see, this one is shining brighter than the others. So you know that this one is the one with the weak spot. So when I'm playing with randoms, or if I'm playing in like, you know, a group that is not familiar with the mechanics, I will type 2 because this is number 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So by typing number 2, everyone's going to know, oh, the second one has the weak spot. So that's what I usually do, and that way everyone can focus on the same one. As you can see, I type 2, so everyone knows there it is. As for that wall attack over there, it's very important that you double jump over it. We're going to rewind a little bit. So you're going to see right here that they're going to split up. 2 is going to go to the left, 2 is going to go to the right, and they're going to summon a wall. When you see this animation over here and nothing happens, that means that they're summoning a wall. As you can see, this wall comes out. As this wall approaches you, you're going to notice that there are 2 ledges that are slightly lower. There's one on the far left and one on the far right. However, you can double jump over this very easily. As you can see right here, I just double jumped over the highest ledge. So, you know, it really depends on your personal playstyle. If you have a lot of trouble double jumping over this wall, then you can aim for the little cubbies that are a little bit lower. It's a little bit easier to clear those. But nevertheless, you just double jump, and now you just keep focusing on the little weak spot. You ignore the other 2. You do not need to break these. All you need to do is find the big yellow weak spot and you just focus it. Another thing that you want to keep in mind about the gun, the longer you hold down the left click or the shoot button, the more damage it'll do. You'll notice that Moonlit's bullets over here are orange, and you're going to notice my bullets are blue. The reason for this is because I haven't held down the left click long enough. You know, I've been taking burst shots, and that way I'll be doing less damage. The longer you hold it down, the more damage you'll do. As you can see, everyone else has orange bullets because they've just been holding down the shoot button. Meanwhile, I'm kind of monkeying around and not being efficient. But nevertheless, you're going to notice the next phase over here has happened. A new enemy has appeared. So this enemy pops up and you just want to kill it incredibly quickly. You can use your photon beam, or you can use your bullets to shoot it, or you can use the beam, as you can see on my right click, which is a beam sword. However, you can see that the boss is clearly dashing into me. At this moment of time, ignore the minion. You do not care about the minion. You immediately want to turn around and focus on the big yellow spot. As we know, the weak spot's on number 2. So we can turn around, and here you can see we have a chance to use our gigantic photon blades or our big giant sword. So this is the right click if you play on mouse and keyboard. It's Y, I think, if you play on controller. But nevertheless, this is where you deal a ton of damage. You really want to make sure that you hit that boss a couple of times, especially whenever they dash over to your side. All right, because when they're standing over here, you cannot use your blade. Your gigantic Gundam blade doesn't actually reach them. All right, so once they dash over, you hit them, they'll run away, and then you can focus on the mob right here. Now you can always use the blade to kill the minion if you want. However, you can also just shoot it to death. Next up, you can see there is a 3-ring attack. What I like to do is I stand right here at the edge, I wait for the second ring to explode, and I just take 1 step forward. You're gonna see right here, boom, boom, and I just move forward. Now earlier I did a double tap forward or a dash forward. However, I lose the damage bonus by doing that. As you can see, my bullets are blue again and not orange. So you kind of want to avoid dashing if possible in order to deal extra damage. As you can see, the wall is coming again. This place is lower. There's a lower ledge over here as well, but I'm baller. I'm going to jump over the highest one. Now you're going to notice the moment that we killed the minion, we actually get one charge of this rock over here. You actually do not want to waste the rock, as I'm going to do right here. You're going to see I'm going to waste the rock by shooting right here, and here we go. You can see we do this charge up animation and I shoot this rock and it does 42,000 damage. So a lot of people are going to be like, oh, so you just want to shoot the rock at the weak spot whenever you can in order to deal the extra damage. This is incorrect. You actually want to hold on to the rock for the next phase. Whenever he puts up these shields again in order to hide the weak spot and you have to find it, these rocks actually insta-kill these shields, alright? So you want to hold on to all of these rocks so that when you get to the next phase where he summons all of these shields again and you have to find the weak spot, you just chuck the rocks and you break them incredibly quickly, alright? So next phase over here, he does this really big AoE. You just want to run to the very far end in the safe zone and just keep shooting. You're going to be fine. And now he summons another minion. We can kill the minion again. I like to use my sword. You can use the dash over here to iframe through the explosion. He's dashing again, so we know number 2 has the weak spot. So we want to make sure that we get there and we use a couple of slashes. Boom. Boom. Okay, I messed up. Normally, if you play efficiently, you can get like 4 to 5 slashes there actually. And now you can see that the boss's guard is broken. He goes down and we have to get to the boss really quickly. Usually I just spam a lot of the sidestep, or I just spam X on my keyboard to get here really quickly. I double jump and then I use my photon blade. So we can see over here, well, okay, I'm being a Papega, but here we go. Look at that. So this is where we do the big damage. We just beat the crap out of its head and we just keep hitting it. All right. So there we go. We dealt a lot of break damage over here so that it's going to break relatively soon, well, in its next down phase. So now it's the second phase. You can see the second phase. Again, he's got all of these shields. We need to find the weak spot. Now, if I had any of those rocks, instead of wasting them earlier, I could just shoot a rock and it will instantly break any of these shields. So earlier there were 2 bosses that we killed. There's 4 players. That means we have 8 rocks, which technically meant we could break all of these instantaneously instead of wasting time over here shooting it over and over and over. As you can see, well, you know, I'm Papega and I wasted my rocks, and these guys didn't waste their rocks, so they're able to break these shields incredibly quickly in order to unlock the weak spot or find the weak spot. While here I am being silly and I'm like, oh no, where's the weak spot? I don't know where to find it. And so I'm wasting a lot of time over here. Now again, the wall comes in, you just jump over it, super simple. As we can see right here, 2 is lit up, so that means that, you know, 2 is obviously going to be the weak spot. I type 2, let everyone know. Another minion has spawned, we're going to kill this one, and again, don't waste the rock, because we're going to have another exact same phase that will come up later down the line, so you want to save those rocks in order to break these shields really quickly. Alright? So now this part is relatively simple. It's just some explosions. You just stay in the safe spot and just keep shooting and you're good to go. All right. Now again, they're dashing towards us. What I should have been doing now is I should be quickly dashing backwards so that I can use my gigantic beam sword to deal tons of damage. As we can see right here, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 slashes right there. Really nice. We break the boss. We quickly get here, and then now we slash the living daylights out of him. I wasted a rock over there. Yes, it dealt a lot of damage, but that doesn't matter. What you want to do is you want to slash, 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 slash. You just want to melee it really, really crazily and deal tons of damage. Now we're going into the final phase-ish of the cannon phase, I guess. And over here, he's going to do 2 walls. Whenever he summons walls, it's going to be double wall now instead of single wall. So again, there's a regular minion. We want to kill the minion. And once that's done, now he's going to use a wall. You're going to see there's a single wall and immediately double wall comes up. All right. So again, you just double jump over it. It's perfectly fine. When he does this, you want to move all the way back to the safe zone. You know, you don't want to get hit by that like me, and you're going to be fine. As you can see over here, we've identified the weak spot is number 4. So I would just type number 4 and be like, hey guys, you know, that was the weak spot. Everyone focus that. And again, over here, you just want to hold down the shoot button. I die because I'm a Papega, but you know, you just want to keep shooting. And right here, they charge. And again, you want to use your sword. Unfortunately, I only got, what, like 2 slashes in because I died like a Papega, but nevertheless, he summons another minion. He's just got walls again. We're jumping over the walls. We're killing the minion. We're shooting the weak spot. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Now, you guys could split up the responsibilities to like have one person kill the minion or 2 people kill the minion while other people keep focusing on the weak spot to deal additional damage. It's really up to you on how you want to do things, all right? So the reason why I died earlier was because I got greedy. I held down the left click because I want to deal the extra bonus, right? So you want to just keep shooting, and then you just want to stay at the very edge of this explosion and just step forward the moment it finishes exploding, like that. Oh, okay, not like that. I did a dash, like what Moonlit did. He literally just took 1 step forward. That way you can see his bullets are still red or orange while mine are still blue, so he's dealing additional damage while I'm dealing puny damage. Now this part's going to be 4 explosions. We simply want to sidestep over once this explosion finishes. As we can see right here, boom, I sidestep and I'm good to go, and we continue to shoot. But because I keep sidestepping and I keep dashing, you're going to notice that my bullets are constantly blue colored, so I'm not dealing 990 damage, I'm dealing like 400 and something damage per bullet, so it is a huge DPS loss. So you kind of want to avoid sidestepping as much as possible because you have to stop shooting in order to sidestep and you lose the damage bonus. All right, so again, he does the dash. We want to get close. We want to slash, slash, slash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, I only got 3 slashes in. And now he is down. We got to get close. Come on, Carol, get closer, and slash, slash, slash. Deal damage, deal damage, deal damage. As you can see over here, the boss got down for the 3rd time over here, and we still have like 4 minutes and 50 seconds. This is a pretty good time already. If you get to this phase and you have like 3 minutes left, then yeah, you're really struggling, guys. So it's a lot about practice, 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 and how to save a ton of time, especially with those rocks. Those rocks can save you a ton of time identifying the weak spots and focusing down those weak spots. As we can see over here, again, same phase. He's got all of his shields. Now, if I had some rocks to break all of these shields instantaneously to reveal the weak spot, I could have saved a lot of time. But I'm Papega. Well, actually, I just didn't even know about this mechanic till later. But nevertheless, now here comes the wall, we double jump. Here comes the second wall, we double jump. And while you're double jumping there, actually, you can keep shooting. I'm just silly and I stopped shooting. But you can keep shooting while double jumping. You don't have to stop shooting like me. Now, again, he's doing the big 3-ring explosion. There we go. Good job, Caro. You see, I did that 1 step forward and I can still maintain the orange shooting buff where I deal additional damage. All right. Now the wall, we double jump again. This wall just takes a lot of practice, all right? You just have to practice, 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 get the timing down, and you will be able to nail it. As again, I type 4 because we found the weak spot right there. He's gonna summon a minion. Oh, he's doing this AoE, I gotta get out of it. Okay, we shoot the minion over here. Pew, 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 pew. You can use the sword, but he dashes. I am in a really bad spot over here. You can see that I'm just gonna melee the minion because I wasn't gonna reach number 4 in time. I have the rock. I waste the rock again, 42,000. Sure, it was good damage, but I should have waited until the next shield phase again. And again, the 3-ring explosion. Good job, Caro. Very good. Now again, the walls are coming. It's going to be a double wall. We just double jump, easy peasy, and continue to shoot. Again, he summons a minion. So you can see it's just rinse and repeat over and over and over. The pacing is very quick, but it's the same thing. So once you get used to it, it's gonna be relatively easy. You just need to practice, 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 and put in the time. And whenever it charges over here, you need to take advantage of this. You need to deal this extra damage. It really, really helps. You can see that we downed the boss for the 4th time over here. And again, slash, slash, slash. I kind of wish I kind of double jumped before I started slashing, but you know, whatever. It's still hitting the boss, I guess. I think I'm not hitting the weak spot though, so I'm not dealing as much damage as I could. Again, the shield phases. Only if I had those rocks, I could have broken all of these really quickly. But nevertheless, you can see we've unlocked the weak spot is number 2. I don't type number 2 over here because I'm sweating bullets already. I'm just like, oh my god, is this a clear? Is this a clear? So, you know, I didn't type it because I was in panic mode. But nevertheless, you know, the weak spot is number 2 right there. So again, we just keep focusing it. We move back out of this AoE. Pew, 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 pew. And what is he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna do the 4 explosion thing. We sidestep. Good job, Kero. You didn't need a dash there. Very nice. I wasted the rock. Silly me. And now here again, we slash. I only got 3 slashes in. Okay, we broke the boss, or it's down. Now we are heading into the final phase. He gets really mad, we lose our guns, and now we are back to our regular weapons again. So if you were using a Zover weapon in order to get all that floor potency, now's the time to switch back to your Rayar weapon or Flugel Guard or whatever weapon you're using. As you can see, we have 2 minutes when we got to the final phase. All of this HP, you have to deal normal damage and you have to just kind of kill it, alright? But in this phase, it's going to constantly be slamming you over here, and you want to take advantage of that to do a lot of counters. Don't be like me, I'm just getting slapped around like a freaking rag doll. But you can see 2 counters, 3 counters. Good, now he's going to swipe you with his other hand. Come on, Kero, counter that, what the hell? And right here again. So now we break him, or we down him first time. But that is actually just a bait because, you know, he doesn't actually fully get down until you down him the second time, alright? So again, it's the exact same rotation over here. It's this 1, 2, 3 slam. So here we go. 1, 2, and the 3rd slam. Here we go. And then the swipe with his other arm. Wacha! Alright? And then again, he's going to shoot some projectiles, and then he's going to slam again. 1, 2, pause, and then 3. And now he swipes with his other hand. Yay. And then now he does his little projectile thing. Now this is the final phase. Now we've broken it. It says it's starting to fade just a little bit more. This is just pure DPS. The boss doesn't do anything. It just sits down here in this down state. You can see it's got this much HP. We have 54 seconds and you just DPS. This part is just pure DPS, nothing else about it. You just damage, and you gotta kill it within its time frame and you're good to go. It doesn't retaliate, it doesn't do anything. This is just an ultimate DPS check. And there we go. You can see that I am ecstatic. I'm saying good job, everyone. And I actually say something over here, so I'm just gonna let the video play. Holy crap. Oh my god. Oh, okay, let's enjoy the cutscene. What, that's it? There's no cutscene? Oh, come on. What the hell? Oh, alright, let's see the loot. Oh my gosh.
Enemy defeated! Mission accomplished. Please return to base.
Oh. And there we go, that is the loot. Now you guys may have noticed that we got some Puffy Region Mag. This is actually an accessory, as you can see right here, Puffy Region Mag. And it's just this little mag device that you plop on your shoulder. Now obviously you can move it since it is an accessory, so if you don't want it on your shoulder, you can put it in your hands and wherever you want. So that's pretty nice. But you get this as a reward for clearing Dark Falz Dalion. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel, it really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.